yeah. Campus USA, yeah.
This is Carbros Podcast episode 63.
The Big 6-3.
Otherwise known as the Big 6-3.
Quarantine special.
Coming to you from quarantine still, which is totally sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. This is the format for the foreseeable future still. I'm not sure.
Hopefully for not too much longer, but...
Yeah. We don't know what the deal is.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for us.
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean, it's hard to complain.
Except for the occasional 3-year-old busting in.
Yeah. Yeah, except for that. One other thing that I've, just as an aside, that I've noticed during this, have you guys been getting less robocalls through this?
yeah. I've been getting more.
so.
I've been getting more spam emails though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the robocall industry has like, I don't know if it's like the courteous thing to do.
They're shut down. They're
Yeah,
looking
or-
out for public health.
Yeah, or if like the call centers
Yeah.
they work at.
They were hit hard.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but anyways, it seems like robocalls have taken a dive. So I hope they're okay.
Yeah. Hope they're surviving
Can't wait
through
to see
these
them
tough
come. We hope
times.
we hope they come back stronger than ever.
Yeah, we hope they come back. I hope they get
I
some
think
of that.
junk mail has been down quite a bit too.
Oh,
I
really?
think about it. From what I think. I don't know. There seems to be less volume of just garbage that I throw away every time I check the mailbox. But
Boy, this is really taking a toll on every.
yeah,
So
I haven't
hopefully-
experienced it myself, but I have like that LifeLock, identity theft protection. I got an email for them saying the latest scam now is people like calling you claiming they're from the IRS trying to get your information for the stimulus check,
Yeah,
even though it's not called the stimulus check. Yeah.
yeah,
it's called
yeah,
Trump books.
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of sad. You know how normal we are by how many people are trying to scam you. So I guess if there's still some going, that's a good sign. Because of this new format, we post the topics, some of them that we're going to talk about ahead of time on our Patreon. By the way, we have a Patreon, and that is where most of our funding comes from at this point, other than the Kickstarter stuff that we do. So if you're interested in becoming a patron, check out the link in the description below or Google Carbros Patreon. We post some of the topics ahead of time and let people kind of comment on them or just ask unrelated questions to make up for the lack of live audience interaction. And so far it's been working pretty well. So a vocal group, the patrons. So if you want to get in there and help shape the podcast, please do.
Yeah, speaking of that, Keith Bruner from Patreon, he chimed
up,
in,
Keith?
and he just wanted to get an update on the Jack Diamond project. He says, I know filming will be a long way off, but he's excited to see what we come up with.
So this is, to answer your question, we're still working on writing it, basically.
I was actually just thinking the other day, like we actually got like if we had like scheduled that thing to end like a couple weeks later, like we might have been fucked.
Oh, yeah. Or it would have ended harder.
It's true.
Or people
It would have been different nonetheless. But like didn't that ended what, like 5 days before all this shit went down?
Probably,
basically?
yeah, it was right around then, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that there are a lot of people who either timed things extremely well or extremely poorly.
really badly, yeah.
Yeah, there's probably one extreme or the other. But he's bringing up something that's kind of a question that we just sort of assumed we knew the answer to, and that was that we don't really post that much stuff along the way as we work on projects, even on Patreon, because in my personal view, I like things to be just a total surprise. Like, I don't really like giving away the plot. Like, I don't watch the trailer to movies ahead of time or like any of that stuff. But I'm not sure if people want more of that or less. I don't know if that's a rare view. So I don't really know how to answer his question.
Hype dealer.
I don't want to be like, here's the plot of the 3 episodes that we came up. Like if people like those kind of teasers or what.
We have like quite a bit of it figured out, I think, at this point. But we still come up with stuff randomly. Like they'll just come to us, and we kind of add it to the ever circulating potential ideas. I'm sure all of them won't make it in there, but it's continuing to grow.
Yeah, I think to answer your question, Keith, we'll probably come up with some kind of teaser. I don't know. At some point. I guess I don't have a good answer.
Yeah.
I have been using some of this like extra downtime to catch up on like certain shows that, might inspire us or kind of give us an idea of like where to go with it.
Namely The Office.
Yeah, like now that I'd seen like bits and pieces of that show, but now that I've been like actually watching it all the way through, we don't want to like copy it, but there's definitely some kind of like that general feeling, I think, is a pretty good way to say it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to copy it.
Yeah, same gags.
It's coming along. We don't have anything like meaningful to show you yet. Maybe that's the answer.
Yeah, and as far as filming it, I'm hoping that would be something we can do like relatively quick once they stop making like going out illegal, basically.
Yeah.
It's not like that requires, 100 people or anything like that. So it should be, even, once we do it, it's going to be a relatively small scale, I think. So I don't think we should be put off that long in terms of actually filming it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. 2020 still.
It's the year to get stuff done, folks.
Yeah. Top Gun.
Do you remember when when was that? Like right after New Year?
Yeah.
2020, man. Like this is the year.
This is going to be the best year.
He's like, you can always look back and tell people that you did it in 2020.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to me, like, boy, this podcast is not about cars, but like, I wonder how many people are like, man, if I just had free time to do X, Y, Z, it's like, you don't even know what I do. It's like, yeah, it turns out that you just hang out at home. And like, you watch Great British Bake Off.
You use social media even more than you used to.
Yeah, it turns out it wasn't just a lack of free time that kept you from all those creative projects. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I still stand by my 2020 claim. One way or another, is a memorable year.
Yeah, it's going down in the history books.
It won't be forgotten.
Yeah, no one's going to forget 2020.
Well, bringing it back to cars, Keith, as a second part, he also
Keith?
He also wants an update on each of our personal vehicles. He says, "How's the E39 doing? Is Garrett still enjoying the Type R? And does John still have the SRT8 and STI?"
Yeah, you still enjoying the Type R?
Yeah, how are you enjoying that Type R?
It's been gone since last fall.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess Keith probably missed that episode.
I'm sure the new owner is enjoying it, presumably.
Yeah. So yeah, Garrett sold the Type R, a long time ago?
October, November.
Yeah, so it's been 6 months or so. But yeah, and you replaced it with a Mustang GT 5.0.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's what I have right now. I have my van, and that's about it. I've been kicking around the idea of getting something like cheap to hopefully make into a semi-track car that I don't have to drive every day, but we'll see.
Yeah,
like a Type R.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you miss that car? The Type R?
Not real. I mean, sometimes I do, but not enough to really want to get another one.
Oh, really? I miss it.
I mean,
yeah.
Of everything you've ever owned, that's definitely my favorite.
The one.
Yeah, those things are pretty great. I still like them. I still want one.
Yeah, it's still a really good car.
Yeah. I still have both my cars. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not a little bitch.
Yeah, I don't trade vehicles every 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have any updates on mine except that I still love my E39 M5. Truly, that car is just wonderful. I hope I never have to sell that thing. That's kind of how I feel about that. And I like the 4Runner a lot too. I'm surprised how much I like that car for how boring it is. For essentially a Camry.
It's a utilitarian vehicle.
it's for a daily driver kind of beater. I really like that thing a lot. And during quarantine, I have been detailing it, like doing stupid. I mean, I've kind of been getting into detailing anyways, just because it's fun. I find it therapeutic because it's so detail oriented, like detailing paint, and I have a orbital and like buffing stuff. And last or 2 podcasts ago, I was talking about I bought a glass polishing compound and a specific pad for my DA. And I was polishing the windshield on the 4Runner, which is something that I can now say is not worth it.
Yeah.
It is backbreaking work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do about like maybe 50 passes with the orbital to get rid of like
Nicks and scratch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you won't get rid of rock pits, like the little kind of like dots, because I think those are quite deeper than scratches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it does get rid of all like light scratches from like windshield wipers or anything like that. So it's very worth it. But then I looked up what windshield replacement costs were, and it's like $200 out the door.
Yeah.
Or like 30 hours.
Yeah, or legitimately like 2 days of work to do it right. Which is like, I mean, it's like, whatever. Take your pick. And so that's like a whole thing that I feel like I've already talked about enough. But one thing I just wanted to bring up, I was pulling the windshield wipers off of that car because I was polishing the windshield. And I pulled there's like a nut at the base of the windshield wiper, the actual wiper arm. And it was a single nut. And so I pulled that off, and then the windshield wiper still won't come off. And I was like, fuck, I'll just look on YouTube before I break this thing. And I came across this video. This is from Michael Powell.
What's up, Michael?
What's up, Michael?
What's up? I'm sure he's a big time fan.
900 subscribers. And so I'm sitting, this is a situation we've talked about before. I'm sitting in my garage, like work gloves on with my phone, wearing a like respirator because I'm buffing something. And this is the video I found. So I'm just going to play it for you.
So working on a 97 Toyota 4Runner this morning. Going to be removing the wiper arms. First thing you do is remove the covers. Easily done. And this is a 12 millimeter. So we can just use a ratchet or a wrench. Back that one off just a little bit. Same thing over here. Again, it's a 12 millimeter. At this time, you're going to notice that these are still attached. The easiest thing to do, you will not need a pulling tool of any type. Just go ahead and hit the joint right here. Like usually just one good pop will knock it free. And the same thing over here. Right here on the joint, give it a good pop and it'll knock it free. So that's how you remove the wiper arms on a Toyota 4Runner. This is a 97 Toyota 4Runner.
That was awesome.
Okay, so
There it is.
imagine
Yeah.
sitting in your garage, like,
Frustrated, trying to get this thing off.
Frustrated, whatever. And so I got to the point where I was pulling on it. It was stuck. I brought up this video, and in 1 minute,
Yeah.
and it
You had-
worked.
You had your
I did
answer. Yeah.
I did exactly what he showed, and it worked. It is the most positive YouTube tutorial experience that I have
Yeah.
ever had.
No intro. No like, what's up, everybody? No fucking like song, techno, dance,
intro. He
graphics.
said what-
I would have started it off and I'd been like, okay, so I've been getting a lot of questions about how you take off the wiper blade. So like,
it was
what I
like-
want to do is first you want to make sure you have this.
He introduced what he was doing as his arms were reaching toward the
Yeah.
I mean, it was like I don't think he like planned it.
Yeah.
I don't think he shares our concern. So anyway, shout out to Michael Powell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Look him up.
Yeah, look him up.
We should get him over that 1,000 subscriber hurdle so we
Give
can
him
start
some love.
monetizing this video.
Yeah. The other crazy thing is 0 comments. Like you think other people would be like, "Damn, thank you for being
No
so strict."
questions or comments needed for this video. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was just a small aside. I've gotten like 40% of the windshield polished.
There you go. Hopefully, at least you started with the driver's side, or you
I
do it.
did.
Yeah.
They're always like, anytime you're working with a chemical or some like product that can potentially damage things, they're always like, start in a inconspicuous,
Yeah.
like a test
Right.
test area. And I'm like, nah.
Just going full bore.
I'm going right in front of the driver's eyes. Oh man. So
Yeah. Speaking of detailing, like my neighbor, just because of quarantine, like he literally, I see him every day detailing his car. Like I'll just leave to go to the store, go get some takeout food, and he's just out there in his driveway, fucking detailing his like 05 Charger, some weak ass car like that.
See, I imagine the quarantine is driving a lot of people to do those tasks that are pretty far down your to-do list.
I guess, but it's just like every day he's out there doing it. It's like how dirty did it get from yesterday?
Might be doing different spots. That's probably what I look like, cleaning my Forerunner to my
I guess
neighbors.
that's true. Yeah, look at this
Day
crazy
2.
guy. Yeah,
Day 2 on his windshield. I can't really talk. So yeah. Anyways, that's how my 2 cars are doing. They are clean as shit.
I know. Yeah, we get updates, text message updates daily from Coin of pictures of the interior of his car and stuff. Yeah,
You guys know.
Moving to me, I still have the Jeep SRT, which recently Garrett did a little photo shoot, quick article for his.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For his
About the
work
tires.
because it has some Nitto tires on it. So or Nitto, sorry, not Nitto. But so there's that, and I do have the STI, and actually I took it out of the garage for like the first time in like 6 months yesterday. I actually started it up and drove it out around this block a couple times to get it
How's
rolling.
that?
It was fun. It's still fun as shit, but it's just like, I think the last time I drove it was with you, Coin. We like went to go get gas, and like remember the tires had like sat for so long, there was like a mild flat spot.
Yeah, you got to drive it every so long to
I know.
reround.
Yeah, I gotta But yeah, I usually start it up every month and just let it warm up and get to idle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I rarely actually take it out of the side gate area just because it's a pain in the ass, in my opinion. But obviously, I have a lot of free time now, so.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny thing about cars like that when like the barrier to entry to driving your special car is like
literal
10 minutes.
barrier of getting
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
it's like decision to drive to like on the road driving is pretty high.
Exactly, yeah.
That can slow things down. It's like, I'm going to take it to go get milk. It's like, do I want to turn this trip?
But this isn't a car. This is not a car you go to take milk, like with the freaking extreme bucket seats and 6-point harnesses.
That's what I mean. It could be. I take the M5 on trips like that. It's like perfect.
Yes. Because that is a fully functioning road vehicle.
You did that, bro.
I know, but I didn't intend it to be a daily driver anymore.
Bro, in his defense, he goes to the track like every other weekend.
It's true, yeah. Track rat over here.
You gotta.
How many track days have you taken it to?
What, 2? I think
it's 3.
2 or 3. It's been a while. It's been at least a year since I've been to one, though. We were gonna go. Yeah. I don't know. We were going to go to that autocross, but that got canceled. So
shocking.
I know.
Well, 2022, we can get back out there.
Yeah. Once things calm down,
open up the big parking lots. Okay. Here is a topic that I don't really know why I put on here, but I did. And the name of that topic is Pep Boys.
Really broad topic.
I don't really know how to get into this. I was typing Pep Boys into our notes, and it auto-corrected to Pep Boysenberries.
As it should.
So, place that where you may. So, okay, here's how it started. I was like, man, Pep Boys is a joke. Like they kind of rose to fame in my mind in like early 2000s because they rode the wave of the like Fast and Furious kind of tuner crowd.
I don't think they did.
Yeah. So this is a story which ends up of me being like, I don't actually know anything about Pep
you don't
Boys.
frequent Pep Boys that much. Yeah.
I thought I did.
You
Like,
thought
I
it was
put on.
you thought it was established in like November 1998.
Yeah, Lenny, Curly, and Mo, or whoever the like guys' names are. Like they founded Pep Boys in 01.
Yeah.
It was like Lenny and Paul Walker founded a auto parts store. And so, okay, so here's the arc. Like it started as me being like, boy, Pep Boys, they totally could have ended up being like Moon or like Summit or something where it's like kind of a respectable, like
performance oriented shop.
Yeah, like Flowmaster or something, just like kind of like a brand like that. But instead they're just like, if you told someone like, oh, that's like a sick car, like what does it have? You're like, it's got like Pep Boys intake. People be like, what the fuck? Like Pep Boys intake. And so in my mind it was like, this brand's like kind of a joke. And so I started reading about it just because usually what we do in these podcasts is we'll get into something and we'll realize we don't know what we're talking about at all, like I just did.
Case in point.
And so I was like, I'm going to read about Pep Boys and like learn about them.
Curled up with a cup of Joe.
Hit up the Wikipedia of Pep Boys.
Hot chocolate and my Kindle.
Mm.
And it turns out that brand was started in the 20s.
Yeah. Like 100 years ago.
Yeah, it was like alongside the Model T, essentially. But everything, so like the way they paint the picture is like Pep Boys invented the aftermarket part industry, and they kind of paint it as like this very prominent brand. And so I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize, I guess they are really like a big deal. But then everything I've dug into, now I'm back at like, nah, they're kind of a joke. Like, it's like, they kind of never, like they're big. Everyone knows of them.
I don't think Pep Boys was ever like intended to be like a tuner company. I think that's where you missed it.
That was me. Well, it's like they existed.
Pep Boys is where you go to get like brake pads for your Chevy Venture.
Yeah, it's just a freaking
That's where, like, most
it's an
people
auto
go, some
parts
fucking
store.
coolant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Kragen or O'Reilly's or AutoZone
Napa
or anything like that. Yeah.
Although Pep Boys does have their own like install, like they actually work on cars there, unlike AutoZone and O'Reilly's. So
okay, so
yeah,
and they have service centers, but they also have something called Pep Boys like Speed Shop.
Do they?
Yeah, which means like one aisle of like custom pedals.
It's like service.
It's they'll install an intake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so they have what John's talking about, which is like they'll do work on your car, but then apparently they have specific centers for like speed.
Speed.
And so every time I'd learn something new about it, I'd be like, oh, they are a big deal. And then I looked into these speed centers and it's like tuning chips for diesel trucks and like intakes and stuff. So I've gone full circle about 3 times on this brand. It's kind of like a curly Q. And I have arrived at I'm not impressed. So
right back where you started.
Yeah. So shout out to Pep Boys. I mean, I think they, unlike Kragen and AutoZone and all those, they do carry some parts like aftermarket, kind of low end.
Okay, I'm looking at their website right now. They have a sweet logo.
Yeah,
it's like some checkered flags.
It's like that's what I mean. It's like it could have. They've got the groundwork to be.
They have the infrastructure in place.
Yeah, they have the infrastructure to be kind of a like followed brand. But no, I think it sounds like it's just this big like corporate entity with a sweet name and logo, and a lot of shattered dreams. Yeah. So that's the history of Pet Boys.
There it is. The Cliff Notes, yeah. Ben Long wrote in on Patreon, just like you can if you're a Patreon member, and he says,
What's up, Ben?
Is it just me? And he lives in the San Francisco Bay Area, but he says, is the service at Pet Boys everywhere terrible? Every time I used to go in there, regardless of the location, it was a staff ghost town. I'd wait 10 minutes until someone opened a check stand, and it was an all-day affair if I needed something from the parts counter.
Damn. So Ben's mistake
is going to Pet Boys.
He just admitted he shops at Pet Boys. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been in there in a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I went in there to get a battery for the STI because they carry Optima batteries, and I heard that that's a really good brand. So I went in there, and it was fine. I mean, I think the Pet Boys around here are a little bit different than the Bay Area, though, because the Bay Area is a big city and like 1 million fucking people. So probably the people to Pet Boys ratio is not as good as here, though. So
I don't know if he went to the speed shop.
Yeah, which one? You got to be more detailed.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for that, Ben.
Shout out to Pet Boys.
Yeah, we're not sure. Okay, so speaking of brands that have an arc that ends in disappointment, Nissan,
we're back again.
who we've spoken about before on this podcast. Nissan just came out with a hot new...
Actually, it was like more than a month ago now. It's like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, so we're a little late to this.
But
we wanted to see how the public reacted.
Yeah, we want to test the water.
Yeah, Nissan dropped a sick commercial for their all-new Sentra.
And yes, there is an all-new Sentra.
Yeah, which, first of all, there's an all-new Sentra. So check it out online, because the dealerships are probably closed. But here's a commercial that Nissan has just come out with called Refuse to Compromise.
Which the name alone just tells you something.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
So I'm going to hold on promoting you this quarter. Cool?
Drop the taco. Get in the car. Does this Sentra feel like a compromise to you?
Wait, what?
The handling, it's good, right? No compromise there.
Nope.
Watch this.
Breathe.
Rear automatic braking. So if this Nissan Sentra isn't going to compromise, why should you?
You're right.
Atta girl.
The all-new Nissan Sentra with more standard safety features than any other car in its class.
Okay. So
nailed it. Where can I go buy a Nissan Sentra right now?
Where to begin? First of all,
everything about that was awesome.
Before we even talk about Nissan trying to like suck off the like feminist movement, right now, trying to toe the line that Gillette failed to do. Using the Sentra as your like beacon of no compromise. It's probably
the car that you get because you can't get approved to buy a Civic.
Yeah, the car that is like literally probably the most compromised product
by its very nature.
Yeah. And I like that she's like, here are the things that she mentions. Does this Sentra feel like a compromise? Yes. I would say yes.
Yeah.
And then she says, does this handling feel like a compromise?
Is it? I don't know if you can go. What is this? If you go to like 9 seconds in when she like makes that sweet turn.
Yeah.
She does that like move that like I don't think anyone does in real life. Or like they like move their body like into it before they turn
it's
the wheel.
It's kind of like how people used to play Super Mario and they'd like kind of move the controller as they jumped.
Yeah.
It's like I've gone to a couple track days and I don't think I've ever fucking like turned my head like before.
Throw your whole body.
Yeah, you got to put your body weight into that steering wheel, bro. That's going to make it turn better.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so we can agree that like it's not a good product to put up there for no compromises, probably. But also just that intro being like, yeah, we can't afford to pay you more.
Yeah.
And then she's like, go back out there and
Get it done.
Get
Ask
it
for your
done.
raise. Yeah.
Yeah, we should
Demand
make
your
a
raise.
follow-up where she's like, I'm not going to compromise. He's like, well, I guess we have to let you go then.
Or she just fucking comes back and the whole thing is shut down because of coronavirus. Everyone go home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could work somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know what you... Are you implying that I was choosing not to pay you more? I'm not compromising either. You're just not that good of a worker. I don't know what the... Do these nachos look like a compromise? Yeah. Anyways.
Or she comes back. She's like, okay, just pay me half my salary, please.
Yeah. There's like hashtag refuse to compromise. Fuck. So that got us talking about like Nissan might not survive this.
Yeah, they were in bad fucking shape before any of this.
Yeah, Nissan was like the Titanic going down before this whole thing happened. This is like the Titanic hit an iceberg, and then coronavirus is like, oh, and there's like a bad storm coming in. Like, ugh, I don't know. Maybe they can like do 0% on a all new 2021 370Z.
I can't remember if it was Nissan. Like I've been seeing a bunch of auto dealership commercials about like that are coronavirus related now, where it's like Ford's giving discounts to like, you know, medical workers, like special financing. It's just like, please come buy a new car. But like I think like Nissan was like free oil changes for health workers. It's just like, come on,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. They just don't. I mean, the craziest part about this whole quarantine is businesses are still operating.
Well, it's like there's nothing they can do but like try to buy your mind space at this point.
Yeah.
Well, these ones can't.
Yeah.
I mean, some businesses are like Netflix is.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Never been
all they
busy.
can do is sit at the sidelines and like just
Yeah.
like kind of signal out like we're still here, we care. Please.
Yeah, some of them. It's like it's funny to watch some of them try to adapt, but like I don't know, Nissan.
Yeah, I saw like an Instagram ad from Infinity. Speaking of Nissan, it was just like, "We're here for you."
Yeah, we
Like, okay.
we hope. That,
Did you feel comforted when you saw that?
I did.
Yeah.
we hope that you're doing okay, and if there's anything we can do, please reach out to our sales staff. Like what? I guess you can cook dinner for me.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant? Oh no, you just meant.
I also do think it's weird that like almost all the like incentive ads for new cars are like no payments for like 120 days.
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Which like what is that? I mean, so if you're not sure you're going to keep your job, like, oh, it's okay. I don't need to make a payment for 3 or 4
I'm
months.
sure in 3 months everything's going to be great. I'm going to be flush with cash. Don't
Yeah,
even
at
worry
least-
about it.
At least I have a new no compromise Sentra.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, on one hand, I need to buy a brand new car, or I want to, but on the other hand, I don't really feel comfortable making a payment for like at least a quarter of the year.
Yeah.
Those things don't really seem to line up, but who knows?
We'll see.
Mhm.
Auto industry, it's looking rough.
Nissan.
It's a bad time to be a not compelling car maker.
There's never been a good time to be Nissan, but now especially.
That was especially a bad time. Okay, so here's a topic that is dear to my heart, I think.
Taking you back to the glory days.
Yeah, but I didn't really think it out very well. And so I just threw it up on the list. And that topic is VTEC.
VTEC.
So
Damn.
where to go with this?
Wow. I don't even know where to start.
I don't even know. I think where the most important question I have is, would the whole Honda scene, like the Honda scene existed, and by Honda scene I mean like people fixing up Hondas and like racing them and whatever, like that existed in the 90s. That was a very like passionate group, you know, people who decided they like, you know, it's been around. But Fast and the Furious really lit the fire on that.
Ignite.
Yeah, because I think it just got a lot of people into cars very quickly and suddenly, and Hondas were a very approachable way to get in to cars. Like they're cheap and like easy to play with and fun to play with. I think my question for you is, would that have happened without VTEC? Was VTEC the reason for Honda's popularity?
I don't know.
I would say probably not the specific technology, but more like the way it was, the gospel that surrounded it, maybe.
I mean, but that's what I mean. It has become, well, not anymore. We're kind of talking in the past. I don't think anyone cares now. But like, it had become just this mythical, like, source of power. It's like, I feel like VTEC kind of started the whole, like, if you can drive a car well enough, there's no limit to how fast it can go. Like, it kind of got people like,
if you shift it hard enough.
If you can shift, you can somehow like rev it high enough and shift it fast enough, you can defeat any any foe because of VTEC. So,
yeah, I would say it was a big part of it, because and just the fact that Hondas were so popular in general, like they were easy to find, whereas like, you know, like 90s Nissans were more rare, and so they weren't as abundant and cheap to find. So that those two factors made just Hondas more likable to the masses, I think.
I mean, like,
do you remember when there was those like VTEC controller things?
I had one on the Prelude.
You could be like, yeah, like I made my VTEC kick in at 1500 RPM.
Above idle.
like you could fucking adjust it.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do you think VTEC has been shown to someone else?
Watch this.
Yeah, like, check out my VTEC.
Yeah, when I first got the Prelude, I was like, that was the craziest thing, because the Prelude, I can't remember. Carl could probably chime in since he still owns
Carl?
it. But I think the Prelude, the H22 VTEC kicked in at like 4,500 RPMs, I think. So it was
Carl, when was VTEC on the Prelude?
Whereas like on Civics, I think it kicked in lower, like in the 3,000 RPM range or something like that. So I just remember
Preludes had good VTEC.
The H22, when it kicked in, it was hard because it was up in that power band.
Hard.
Yeah.
It kicked in VTEC. I just Googled H22A VTEC when.
Yeah.
And I did not get a result.
What's it? Changeover?
No. Engagement point. I wanted Google to just like answer it.
Yeah,
you know how you'll be like, when was Michael Jackson born? And just have a date. I wanted it to
pretty much every engine has variable valve timing now, right?
Yeah.
See, very few of them have variable valve lift.
Mm-hmm.
That's what VTEC really was.
The sensation.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it is cool. It's a cool technology. It's just like.
But that's what I mean. Like you could actually like quote unquote feel it on those cars, but not on most of the other cars that have it.
Because it's not. It's two. You have a choice of two lifts, whereas most of the variable valve timing is close to infinite. And so it'll just sort of change the, it'll just like change the profile of the engine power. But VTEC was a different lift at a single point. And so it would put people, I don't know. I mean, it's like what we're talking about. It's just, it turned into such a myth, such a legend.
So I just looked it up. So stock H22s kicked in at 5,200 RPMs, which that's what I meant.
Close.
Yeah, it was high, but the popular tune is to kick it down to 45 to 47.
Oh, damn!
So that's probably what I did with my VTEC controller. Yeah.
There's some hidden power down there.
Yeah, you're missing out.
Even before that, like on the like the Toyota, like the 4AG that had the like TVIS.
Yeah,
like it was just like on the intake. Like it had sort of like that same kind of feeling. It's like, well, once it hits TVIS.
Yeah.
That was a variable intake.
Right,
I
right,
think that
right.
was two
Yeah,
intake manifolds.
Right, yeah, it like opened another valve or something.
Yeah, I think the ISF does that too.
Yeah, but it's just like it kind of had like a similar feeling at least.
Yeah,
like, once it hits that,
people seem to like that. It's like if you're gonna vary something, you should do it in
noticeable.
Yeah, you should do it in a big lump.
Yeah,
rather than
gradual,
rather than smooth.
Yeah,
yeah. Even if it doesn't actually make sense, people seem to respond positively to like.
It says, it says the system uses 2 separate intake runners per cylinder, one being equipped with a butterfly valve that can either open or close the runner.
I think the B18 was like that too. Damn. Not only did it have VTEC,
damn,
but it also had variable intake runner.
Damn.
Yeah, the amount of just like magic that goes into a gasoline engine.
Yeah.
Like this stuff is going to seem very silly compared to electric. Just like there's none of that shit. Yeah. So
I honestly think the popularity of VTEC, a lot of it comes down to the name of just like it has tech in the name, and it's way easier to say rather than like what was Toyota's like VVTI or some.
Yeah.
Doesn't flow off the tongue as nicely.
Yeah, so variable valve timing and lift, electronic control, and for some reason they chose to drop one of the V's, the L.
Yeah,
you know, it's just like
close enough.
I feel like it's one of those things where they're like, "Look, VTEC's fucking sick as a name." So just like
some guy fucking rolled into the conference room on a skateboard.
Yeah, he's like. You like wheeled the chalkboard over and wrote VTEC, and everyone was like, "Yeah, all right, it's better than Vivitel."
Yeah, exactly.
What could have been?
Yeah, yeah. Like if Toyota had done like R-Tech for their intake runner, it probably would have been a thing.
Yeah.
Some like variable turbo on the MR2.
Damn, 3-stage VTEC.
Yeah,
I'm reading this article.
An iVTEC and stuff.
Damn.
Yeah,
like that's as much a marketing win.
They should just have EVTEC for whatever electric stuff. It just has nothing to do with it. It's just called EVTEC.
Dude, if they don't, it's a missed opportunity. I'm just gonna say that now. If Honda comes out with some electric cars that are sporty and don't have EVTEC, they're leaving money on the table. Just put it that way. Like the like whine gets louder when this baby gets above 10,000 RPM. That's when the second battery kicks in.
Yeah.
No. Anyways,
Get that changeover.
Shout out to VTEC. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to come back to that one. I feel like we haven't.
We need a part 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of VTEC, so again from Keith Bruner, it's a very
Keith?
heavy Keith episode. He asks, "What made the Honda Del Sol unsuccessful? Small, lightweight, convertible with Honda reliability plus VTEC. Was front-wheel drive and a leaky target top enough to keep it from becoming a true Miata competitor?"
Okay. First and foremost, it looks weak as hell.
It's a little girly on the feminine girly side, I would say, yeah.
And I think that covers it.
I think the problem is it's kind of like compromised, but it doesn't really have like it's no different than a Civic.
Yeah.
Underneath, so like you might as well just get
you
might as well just get the practical one if you're gonna have that, I think.
Dude, if the Del Sol had been mid-engine, if it was like a mini NSX,
that
thing would have flown off the shelves.
Yeah, just the same engine, but just on the other side of the car.
Yeah, all they had to do was make it do what it looked like.
Here, the fucking front to the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stretch the chassis like 3 inches. Seriously, the Del
Same
Sol,
engine, same transmission.
Yeah, just change nothing, but make it a NSX with a 4-cylinder. That thing would have been, no question, highly successful. But now it's like, why would you pick that over a Civic? I don't know.
You're kind of talking about like Honda Beat then, like a bigger Honda Beat.
Was that mid-engine?
Yeah. but it was like a fucking tiny ass. Was it? I can't remember if it's a 3-cylinder or not. I think it might be.
Yeah, I would say
But it was just a tiny car.
a Del Sol size Honda Beat.
Yeah, the Honda Beat had a 656cc 3-cylinder.
Yeah, so Beat formula applied to Del Sol.
Yeah.
But still Targa top.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have gotten it. But now it's like I don't think those are ever gonna be. It's not like Del Sol's the next.
And it even felt like back in the day when like Hondas were really big, like no one really like got a Del Sol because they wanted it.
Yeah.
Which is like, I found one.
Yeah, it's like, well,
I wanted a GSR, but I got a Del Sol.
V16. Yeah. Yeah, even CRX people kind of like chose
yeah.
those. Del Sol, meh. Too weird.
Mm-hmm.
Too funky. Okay, moving on. Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
CT5, the CTS, which before this moment, or like 20 minutes ago,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize the CTS was gone.
No,
Which
I'll get to that in a second.
has been replaced by the CT5. Is that true? That's the replacement for it?
I think so. And then the ATS, I think, was replaced by the CT4.
Okay.
I think.
So, first of all, just replacing something called CTS with CT5,
Yeah.
which just looks like someone did like a bad handwriting to typing, like typo. Like, did you mean S?
Yeah.
Because a 5 kind of looks like an S.
It's like the elite version. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like fuck that up? Because someone sent me something. So now there's a CT5-V, which is not the CTS-V.
It's like a middle child.
Yeah. So they are already diluting the V.
And then apparently they just announced the like Blackwing, which I guess is like what the old V.
So it is the new CTS-V is called a CTS-V Blackwing.
A CT5-V.
Yeah.
Sorry, CT5.
Yeah.
But we're not sure if it's real. It's just a teaser.
No. They confirmed that they're
Yeah,
doing it.
it's an
it
official
is happening.
teaser. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said that they're both gonna have sticks, which is cool.
Blackwing. Yeah. So anyway, CT5V, maybe we can put a picture of it here. Teaser. Basically sounds like an evolution of the old CTS-V, but it does come with a stick, which I think I like.
Yeah. They still haven't even confirmed like how much power or what kind of engine it's going to have, but everyone says it'll be another like a variant of the supercharged.
Oh, they didn't confirm that. I thought it was just going to be what is that? LT5?
Yeah, whatever's in like the ZL1.
That seems like a pretty sweet motor.
I assume that's what it's going to be. I think that's the assumption.
The old CTS-V is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if those will ever get cheap, but those really do it for me.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet. Stick ones are hard to find.
No, I mean the current one, whatever.
Oh, the one that's on sale right now. I forgot that thing even existed.
Yeah, those are awesome. I
Not
don't
the
know.
one that what's his name, Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter Swift had one.
Yeah.
What's up, Hunter?
No, the ones before that. I mean, they've all been okay. I guess I like the ones before that. I think I'd rather have a Camaro ZL1. I don't know.
I've always disliked the way the coupes look, but the sedan is cool.
Yeah, I like them. CTS-V is a solid product.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't know why Cadillac. I mean, like, they're not the only brand. Like, I don't know where these decisions come. Where it's like, okay, we're gonna like rename everything we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
What the
rebrand
fuck is
everything.
the point of that? Like,
Okay, we
especially
established this name.
especially when the name is only like kind of established.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't like Infinity. Like, okay, the G37 is now like the Q something.
We're going
Yeah.
straight Q, boys.
Yeah.
It's like where does that come from? Like, what do they think that's going to accomplish besides just fucking confusing everyone?
Yeah, I think here's my guess is it's one of two things. Well, it's really just one thing. It is some product manager somewhere going like, it's time for a clean slate. Like,
Forget about what you used to know about it.
it's time to reinvent it. And it's like internally, it's like Project Clean Slate.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's sold as this, like, we're fucking going for it, boys. And it's this, like
it's a new
upper
decade.
management circle jerk. Yeah. Where they're like, forget the issues of the past. And there's like all these PowerPoints about like Cadillac, and then like an arrow slotting it in between Benz and Audi.
Yeah, it's gonna be like young and
It's
hip
just
and
like,
flashy.
we're gonna go for it. Same with like the Q thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, and they're all high-fiving and shit. And then it's like, oh, right. They go to implement it, and it's like, oh, we didn't fix any of the issues with our company.
And they have to, and now we have to explain to people, like, okay, so the CTS is now the CT5.
Well, if they actually executed on something where it's like, Infinity's going Q with everything, and they're way different. It's like a brand new company. And the world pauses what it's doing and turns to look at these brand new. They're so different from the old Infinity.
they needed a new name.
These aren't anything you've seen before.
Some of them are literally the exact same car.
But instead,
not even a new model. Like, it's like in 2014, the G37 became whatever.
Yeah. Instead, what they do, because they fumble the fucking ball, like, oh, actually, it's just a G37. We actually didn't pull any of that shit we thought we were going to do off. So my guess is it's a management problem. All this shit is management. It's always management, because there's no way there was any like lower level. Boy, I really wish they'd rename all of our models.
It seems weird because like back in like the 70s and 80s, it was like, if a car had a bunch of numbers or letters in his name, it was usually meant like it's sporty. It was like you had like a Pontiac Catalina or a Pontiac like GTO, or like a Fiat X19 or something.
Right.
But then at some point they just said like every car is just going to be letters and numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me, but.
Yeah, I think I guess the Japanese do a pretty good job. Like Civic is still there.
Right.
And like Camry.
Just Honda does that. Mazda is a bunch of letters and numbers.
I just mean the ones who like haven't retooled their entire like image and lineup. I think it's just Honda and Toyota.
Just a Honda and Toyota, then
maybe Nissan is still going.
Yeah.
But the Americans, it seems like every decade they try to like level up.
Honestly, I mean, even the European stuff still confuses me, even though they've been doing that for a while. Like, I have a Mercedes C230.
Right.
I have the C300. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's confusing, but at least they're consistent.
Right.
Except kind of not. Like, I don't know. 3 Series. I don't know.
Now we have a 4 Series GT.
Yeah, BMW kind of fell off there. So I don't know what is driving that, but I can assure you the lack of execution is management's fault.
Or even like Audi, it's like, okay, we have the A7 and the SQ7 and the RSQ7. And,
right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just fucking call stuff like Eldorado.
Yeah. Yeah. Honda and Toyota are probably the only two that haven't buckled. And the Civic is still a Civic.
At least
it was like Toyota had the Camry, and then we have like the MR2, which is like it's a sports car. It's the MR2.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring that back. So, anyways, Cadillac. We'll see.
At least they haven't given up. That's the good.
Yeah, I like it. I'm excited to see this thing. I'm not like super stoked about it, but I just can't get that excited for a small block Chevy based thing
in a different car.
Yeah, it's like it's not. I don't think anyone's like, what's it gonna feel like?
Yeah. What's the engine going to be like?
Yeah, I can't wait.
I don't know if it was a 4-door, 1LE like Camaro, like, because when you drove that Camaro 1LE, you were like, this thing's fucking sweet. And so if you had a 4-door version of that, that'd be sweet.
They're fine. I like Chevy's stuff. It's just that motor is so. It has not. If you drive a 90s. I mean, even as far back, but if you drive like an LS based anything, and then you drive something new, it's like, yeah, this feels the same. It's like linear power band but it's not exciting. It's just like, okay, it's chocolate ice cream. Then you pick your sweetness level.
Mm-hmm.
It's no VTEC. Let's just it's definitely
it's no beating around the bush.
Yeah, it's no VTEC. Okay. Anyways, sup Cadillac. All right, patron questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got Jay Binkelstein. He wrote
Sup,
in with
Jay?
a topic.
Is that his name, Jay? He doesn't have a.
I don't know. It's J. Binkelstein. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what it's short for. Yeah.
Joshua.
What's up, Jay?
So his topic is cars where the owners just roll with how stupidly complex and unreliable they are. Things like, okay, on this video, we're going to change the taillight bulb. Like always, first we drop the engine. And other owners that are like, I only had to do this fix 3 times a year. It's a really easy job, so it's a pretty reliable car.
Yeah, that's. I feel that one. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
People do this thing where they just like the car becomes part of their personality, maybe.
Mm-hmm. It's their brand.
Yeah, or it's like, why are you still driving that Audi wagon? Like, just get rid of it. You know, it's like, I don't know if they've invested so much time or what, but I just can't imagine owning something unreliable that wasn't like fucking like exotic
A toy.
Yeah.
or something. Even a toy. I'm just so over shit that's not reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a really big one for me. Especially if it's a daily driver. That one blows my mind that the car that you rely on day to day would be anything but just like bulletproof.
Yeah.
When people are like, it was like, oh, totally, that thing was reliable. I like outside of basic maintenance and like mechanic visits, like it never left me stranded. It's like, what?
Yeah. They're like, it's really reliable as long as you like watch the fucking maintenance like a hawk.
Right.
Yeah,
Very
like
reliable.
it just matters how you maintained it. It's like, dude, I want to
Not maintain.
neglect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the problem is reliable is not a standard definition.
Yeah.
And when people's standard of reliability is it never left me stranded, it's like, left you stranded. If a car left me stranded, I would consider selling it. Like that's not unreliable. That's
It's like I said, like
not
if
worth
you just jog 12 miles every day and then inject yourself with vitamin C, you'll never catch a cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm gonna daily drive that thing, I want to treat it like a blender or something. It's just like this thing that needs to work. I'm not even gonna maintain it. I'm not even gonna. I want to change the oil and that's it. I don't care what else it's telling me to do. I'm not going to do it.
Or you can get an electric car and not even have to do that.
Yeah, well, that's why I think electric cars are going to, it's like they're so inevitably going to take over because like nobody gives a shit about maintaining
Yeah.
a car. It's just supposed to work.
Check the
So,
tank.
yeah. I don't know. When people are like, yeah, they're fine. Like I drove a whatever, like BMW station wagon. And like we kept on top of the maintenance and it served us well. It's like, dude,
like as long as you find one that has complete service records going back to day one, you should be fine.
So change oil every 3,000 miles on the dot.
and then you continue. Well, that's what I mean. It's like oil's fine, but if it's just like, yeah, you just got to catch that stuff. The belt tensioners,
Like the rear subframe rips out, but if you just keep an eye on it, you'll be fine.
and detonate. It's like I want to drive something that's so reliable that by the time I get rid of it, I'm just so sick of looking at it. And like the Civic I used to have, I'd open the hood on that thing and it would be like,
Yeah.
like the
Leaves
Opening up a coffin after like 10 years.
like the weather stripping around the hood had like fused with the fenders because I hadn't opened it in so long. And I'd be like, "Oh, right, that's what the motor looks like." Like I don't want to think about this thing. So yeah, I don't know. I feel Jay's comment.
Yeah.
When people are like, "Oh, if you do your own work, they're fine, but you could never own one." Like, dude.
If you do your own work and have a shitload of time on your hands, it's no problem.
As long as you have a lift.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
man,
easy.
I just won't do it.
All right, so next up, we got Flemingson again.
What's up, Fleming?
He's sending a lengthy one. So bear with me.
We're gridded.
Here's something fresh off the sizzling brake rotor, post-race moves. That's what he wants to talk about. So you and an affable stranger come across each other, did a couple of pulls, had a bit of fun, etc. What do you do after the fun is over? You can't just go back to cruising along next to him, or especially pull up next to him at a light. I feel like the best move is to turn off or to take the first exit you see. Maybe take a slightly alternate route. What if you were driving on Interstate 5 in the Central Valley? You may come across each other for the next 500 miles. That would make it for an extremely awkward journey. Do you guys agree, or am I just going insane?
This is like diary of someone with social anxiety.
Yeah.
I see where it's coming from.
I do feel him.
I think what he's talking about, it's kind of the same thing as like, say, like if you're like at the store or wherever at an event, and you see someone that you know,
Yeah.
and you like, talk with them for a minute or two. You're like, oh, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And then like you see him again, like 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
Hey.
And you're just like,
Still?
yeah, you're still here. Hey.
Oh yeah. Oh, these cars.
Yeah. I assume that's what, it's kind of the same feeling as that.
Yeah. Sometimes like in a situation that he's talking about, you like punch it next to someone. You're like, oh yeah, like you have a cool car, I do too. And then you're at a light, and it's like, I don't actually want to like meet you.
Yeah.
Like, we're not friends. Like, I don't want to let you in.
Yeah.
They're like, how much do I ask? Or they're like, oh, what do you got done to it? And you're like, I don't.
Yeah. I don't really want to have this conversation.
Yeah,
Just trying to get home. Yeah.
So yeah, I think he went a little extreme with it. Where he's like taking a different freeway.
He's just like, completely
Yeah,
changing
like
his route.
Yeah, he's gonna have to like go to a different county, like get in a motel for the night so he doesn't run into this guy. But yeah, it is kind of funny. Like ideally, you like you're like next to someone and then there's traffic and you never see him again or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, semi agree. But at the same time, yeah, you are a little insane. I hope I run into you on the street because I'm gonna try to talk to you a bunch, make it awkward. Fleming,
Just follow him when he tries to pull off.
Yeah,
In a way, that's sort of like if you like ever sell a car to someone,
Yeah.
yeah.
like you never want to fucking see that person again.
Right.
I sometimes I still maybe every I don't know. Every once in a while, like when I sold one of my 510s, like years later, he sent me an email and he was like, hey, like still got it, like da-da-da. He'd like totally painted it and it was way different. I thought that was kind of cool.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. They like check in on you like on purpose. But I mean, like if you sell a car and then like, I wanted to ask you the blah, 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 blah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like occasionally they'll just like keep those.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to like disappear after the transaction. Is
Yeah.
you basically want to like block their number, like drive off with their money. It's your problem
actually,
now.
After I sold the Civic wagon that we used in Gymkhana, like I saw it driving like a few weeks later, a month later.
Really?
Just like the guy just like commuting in it.
Yeah, it's his life.
It's like, oh, there's that car.
Picturing all the donuts we did in it like 2 weeks before. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Damn
sweet.
it. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So last up from Keith Bruner again.
What's up, Keith?
He
What's up,
says,
Keith?
I think you guys should start a semi-ironic head-to-head segment where you compare two kind of forgotten/quirky cars from a particular era. His examples are Cobalt SS versus Dodge Neon SRT4, a Nissan Leaf versus a Mitsubishi MIEV, the Pontiac Aztek versus the Isuzu Vehicross, etc.
Mm-hmm.
You could argue both sides and pick a favorite.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Dope. I'd love to do a head-to-head with a Leaf and that stupid Mitsubishi thing.
Yeah, thing.
So we have batted around the idea of a Top Gear-esque show where
that doesn't suck.
Yeah, there's a total window to make a new kind of Top Gear because the guys who do real Top Gear, Clarkson and
The original.
the original trio, they're getting old. It's like you can tell they're kind of sick of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like they're just kind of done. They're on their way out. I like them, but they're ready to be done.
Mhm.
But then there's still Top Gear. There's BBC
Various
Top Gear,
iterations,
and then there's US Top Gear, and they're all bad. Like none of them are good. It's like this very forced formula. Like, all right, you three guys are friends,
Buddies.
and
we got the jokester, we got the serious one.
They'll be like, this one's the funny one.
Oh, Tommy.
Yeah. And so it's like there's totally room to make something that not replaces, but sort of, in that
Carries
spirit,
the torch.
carries it on. Yeah. And so we have batted around that idea, and we may have a go at that actually it'd be after Jack Diamond.
Mm-hmm. Once Jack Diamond takes off and goes to the moon.
Yeah. Once Jack Diamond, I mean, we'll see, but it would be the same kind of thing. I think we could make like 2 or 3 kind of episodes or something like that and show it off. But yeah, it just takes money. That's the thing. And more than, maybe a Kickstarter, but it needs more than a Kickstarter. And so it'd have to be something that had some like corporate sponsorship or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'd have to toe the line.
Get Pet Boys on board.
Yeah, sponsored by Pet Boy, presented by Pet Boys.
Mm.
But yeah, there's a lot of room for stuff like that with the like comparison, or like you've got $3,000 to buy a whatever 90s sports car or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd love to do that. It's really just a budget thing at this point, but somewhere on our radar.
Someday.
Still a long ways out. Mm-hmm. Aztec versus V-Cross.
So solid.
That'd be sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a debate among the Cargos group.
Mm-hmm. Internal discussion.
Yeah, there is this before the quarantine, but still when things were like dicey but not sheltered in place.
Mm-hmm.
There is this Chinese restaurant that I like to go to in town because I really like
downtown.
It's downtown. It's a little hole in the wall. It is. It's a hole in the wall place. Uh-huh. It's like not a lot of people know about it. There's only one.
Locals only. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
you
family
go down
owned.
a dark alley.
Yeah, you do.
It's like the hidden city or whatever it is.
There's like steamy
Hong Kong.
Yeah, steam coming out of doorways and stuff. Chickens.
Yeah, like you go by a doorway and there's just a guy like looking at you. You just pass by.
Yeah, there's a guy like making noodles or something. He has one eye. So there's this family-owned Chinese restaurant, and I really like their soup. They have really good soup. They make their own noodles, but they do like chicken soup and like beef soup and stuff. And it's really good and cheap. And I go there quite a bit for dine-in. But then they did this shelter-in-place thing, and all the restaurants are takeout only. And we were talking about, like, is there a worse to-go item than soup?
Like, or anything like heavily based around soup?
Yeah. Is there like a worse to-go experience than soup? So I've stopped going to this place.
They're still open though. They're attempting to do?
I think they're still open. I haven't been over there. Because I got takeout from them once in the past. They'll be like, well, they'll just be like, here's the like broth container.
Yeah.
it's this like plastic.
Now you gotta take it home.
You're just hoping the lid on that thing is very secure and doesn't fucking spill
like
all over your vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, they still put it in like a bag, like a to-go bag. Except you've just got like a 2-liter, like loosely lidded container of broth.
Like, in your freshly detailed BMW.
Yeah, and then you get home and like mix it or something. I don't know. It's pretty lame, but I like their soup. But yeah, I feel for all the places that do like ramen or I don't know, soup.
Sushi is up there too, and you don't really want to eat it 20 minutes after it's prepared.
Yeah, sushi is kind of a dine-in thing.
Anything that kind of like mushes together in a way that's not really made to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or is very much dependent on the presentation.
Yeah, or it's
Yeah.
like sushi is based on like the cool fish against like the warm rice or whatever.
Yeah. Perfectly, they like torch it as they're bringing it out to you.
Right. Yeah.
Let it down sizzling.
Fajitas or something.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of restaurants around here now. They offer alcoholic drinks to go, like cocktails,
Yes.
and like that sounds fucking awful too.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. Yeah, it'd be like a blended drink
Yeah.
to go mug or something.
That'd be sweet, like going to a bar and getting like a takeout, like Coors Light.
Yeah. I think you can. I think you can do
$7.50, please.
I think you do curbside delivery of drinks from bars.
You can.
It used to not be legal, but now it is.
Yeah.
During this. I'm not sure if that'll stay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Overpaying for like a PBR or something. Just on your way home.
Mm-hmm. Stop by the pub.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, if you would like to contribute to this podcast, please sign up for or consider signing up for our Patreon. It's a good old time. You can have further input on things like VTEC and
Hot topics.
social anxiety when cruising. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll probably be back in 2 weeks. I think we're going to try to do a 2-a-month thing for the time being, since everyone's just chilling at home right now.
Including us.
Including us. We'll probably record another one tomorrow. Keep an eye out for updates on Patreon. Look forward to all the new patrons that this episode gets. Hope you guys are staying safe. Keep washing your hands and not breathing. And we will see you in about 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
See ya.